I am Brad Keelor. He is Surya Congress. Coming up next on Director's Cut, find out why winning the 2026 Casagrande Award is so special to him. Hello again, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Director's Cut. My name is Brad Keelor. I'm the director of the Geo-Institute, and that is why we call this show Director's Cut. Every single week, except 1 week at the holidays and during the summer, I sit down with a different GI member who has many, we will call it plentiful, stories to tell. Some are personal, some are professional, but all of them are fun. If you don't know anything about the Geo-Institute, after you watch this interview today, not during, we want your full attention, you should head over to geoinstitute.org, and there you will find out many things, including that we are a technical society with about 12,000 members, most of whom are geotechnical engineers and or geologists, and that we are part of the American Society of Civil Engineers. And if you like what you see today, and I always feel that you will, you should click like, subscribe, and get notifications, and we'll let you know every time we post something to the YouTube channel. This is a big episode for a couple of reasons. Number one, this is episode 250 of Director's Cut, which is kind of crazy. I always say I thought we'd do about 12 and then it would be over, and now we're at 250. And so please, everybody, check social media and the show notes below this. We will run a contest, as we always do for these round numbered episodes. It's also the first episode with a full interview of 2026 and season 7 of Director's Cut. And so we are thrilled to welcome in all the way from East Lansing, Michigan, where he's a faculty member at Michigan State University, Surya Congress. Surya, thank you for doing this.
Hey, Brad. Thank you for inviting me. Should I start the first question? Or
I'll hit you with all the questions. Don't worry about that.
Okay.
We've got 10 of them, the same way that we do every week for everybody. 2 of them are the same that we ask everybody else. So we start with one of those. Describe your job in 45 seconds.
I'm an assistant professor in civil and environmental engineering at Michigan State. My work essentially lives at the intersection of 3 things. The first one is research. I focus mostly on ground improvement and using remote sensing and computer vision for infrastructure asset management. And the second one is I'm an educator. I love teaching and make it a personal goal to learn each and every student's name by the end of the semester. This past semester, I pushed my limits because I had 73 students, but it was worth it. Finally, I do love to do outreach. I love to translate our complex research that we're doing at MSU to school kids and also public. So in everything I do, I try to adopt new technologies to solve real-world problems through multidisciplinary teamwork.
And we're going to get to a lot of that as we go through the interview. And I think you're even going to get to do some explanation for our community, for the geotechs out there as we work through the questions. So we can look forward to that. But we have to get to some of the fun questions because that is what Director's Cut is about. That's why we get millions and millions of viewers every single week from around the world. Surya,
yes,
we start with this for you.
I'm one of them.
We start with this one for you. What is your favorite smell to wake up to?
I would have to say the smell of pancakes with melting butter. And sometimes, it's even better if I can wake up to some Indian breakfast smells, but it's unfortunate I can't cook them. They take so long. I also love waking up to the sound of birds chirping by my window. In summer, it typically happens every day, but even in winter, sometimes I can hear them chirping, which is so peaceful to start a busy day of research.
That is perfect. I love that. And it leads us into, I always say Director's Cut is a show about music, sports, and food at its heart. we got to talk food here for a minute since you brought it up. I think one thing that Americans are always amazed at when they go other places in the world, I think it's, that people eat other things, but breakfast food is so different around the world. Give us a couple of your favorite breakfast foods from India.
Oh, I love dosa. It's basically like a crepe, but it's made of lentils, and uh, so we eat a heavy breakfast in India. We have dosa, we have idli, and we eat it with chutney, basically the coconut chutney or different types of chutneys. So typically, I'm a foodie, and if anyone knows of dosa, and when I'm at home visiting India, I can actually eat at least 10 to 15 dosas, just like that. Yes. So I'm a full-time foodie when I go back home. So yeah.
But not when you're here. So, I mean, I got to ask you because it is maybe a corollary here. What's your pancake limit? How many of those can you take down?
Um, on a good week, again, these are things that I treat myself during a weekend, not weekday at all. So during a weekend, typically maybe 6 to 7 pancakes. And my favorite way to eat pancake is to put ice cream on top of hot, fresh pancakes. So it actually melts and I can dip it. So I'm actually creating the dosa and chutney analogy with pancake and ice cream here. So
Oh,
maybe
that
some
is.
of my Indian friends might not agree, but it's delicious.
I
Yeah,
don't think you're
pancake
going to
and
get
ice
a
cream.
lot of people disagreeing with that one. That's a pretty good combo right there. We gotta, we have to talk about your research here, and I'm excited because this is one of the coolest research questions we've had in a while. When I think of you, I think of a drone guy, okay, because you use them a lot, and you love hiking. And you're going to tell us a story how you were able to combine these two things. Walk us through some of the findings that you had. Just tell the story of your combo of hiking and drone flight.
Yeah, absolutely. But before I answer that question, I have to warn you that I can drone on about drones. So you know,
Well played.
so and also, as you know, we have tested our drones in 115 Fahrenheit Texas heat and 5 Fahrenheit Alaska weather as well. So we are well tested. And this past year, I had a chance to combine two of my favorite things. One is flying drones and hiking. So we were near this slope failure and we can't drive. So what I did was I put on my drone gear and then hiked. And wherever I found a gap and saw the failure, I I flew the drone and captured the data and then moved on. And we got excellent visuals of those, failures. And now as we speak, we are analyzing those slope stability in our, numerical simulations. And it's very exciting to combine two of my favorite things.
So as you're getting through those findings, I mean, I have to think if you like what you're doing, it makes it easier. You notice things that you wouldn't notice otherwise if there were drudgery or what if it was just something that wasn't fun to you. Because you were out there enjoying yourself at the same thing, do you feel like that does make a difference for you? Like you're able to pick up on things that you wouldn't see otherwise because you're not just out there flying a drone, snapping photos and trying to see what you can see.
Yes, absolutely. Like you said, if you love something, you won't work. You just it becomes your way of life. Sometimes when I try to write these big proposals, my mind is so tuned into addressing those real world problems. So I actually try to put myself in those situations quite often. It's very rewarding as well because it comes from the heart rather than
Mhm.
something superficial. So as you can tell, I'm passionate about what I do. So it definitely opens up a new perspective for me to look at these issues.
Great answer, and we go smoothly right into the next question. We're really excited. You're one of the two recipients of the 2026 Casagrande Award. So first, I mean, we have to say congratulations. It's a big deal. It's very exciting, and it is I think, ASCE's most prestigious award for a young researcher.
Thank you.
You've got a cool story though about why it's meaningful to you to win this award, other than the obvious that it's just nice to get an award, right? So Surya, tell us why it's so important to you that you won the Casagrande Award this year.
It's so meaningful because when I started my first geotechnical lab in my undergraduate course, Casagrande apparatus is the first thing we used. So to go from that first lab session to receiving an honor in his name is a dream come true.
And I mean, these things are all, I think what's important for people to remember is your peers nominate you for these things. It's not like you're throwing your name out there yourself, or it's just a group of people in a room with a notepad making a list. I mean, how meaningful is it to you that you were nominated for this award and selected, and that you get recognized at Geo-Congress for it?
Yes. I mean, my first Geo-Congress is in 2017, and every year I've seen the awardees, and these are people who have changed the field. These are some of the legends. So to get my name out there and being supported by my peers, it means a lot to me, and I look forward to celebrating the award with all the well-wishers and mentors in SLC.
So for our viewers, you will be able to see this live and in person on March 11th at Geo-Congress, or you can watch it on the live stream. We'll have the awards video right before the Terzaghi lecture, and then photos and everything afterwards. And again, for the viewers, if you're thinking to yourself about nominating somebody for an ASCE or a GI award, you should do it. It's easy. You can start right at the website. Just go to geoinstitute.org and click on awards, and it's pretty quick. It's pretty simple to nominate a colleague or a friend for one of our many awards. There are deadlines all throughout the year. You can probably find one that you'd like to nominate someone for. The next question I put in here was on my mind because I've been running into people in strange locations lately. And I remembered back to when my wife and I were in Italy, actually on our honeymoon, and we're in Vatican City, and we hear somebody calling out to us from about 100 feet away, and it was one of our classmates from college. It's a completely random encounter. We did not know the other person would be there. Surya, where or when did you have your most surprising encounter with a friend?
That's a good question. I think while I was living in Germany, I unexpectedly bumped into a childhood friend, and we spent the whole weekend catching up, and we played foosball, and we tested out different restaurants. And I have to tell a story. Growing up in my high school, I was called Chess Chandra. I have a nickname called Chess Chandra. Again, Chandra is part of my three first names. I have Surya, Sarat, Chandra, right? So they call me Chess Chandra. And sometimes when I play, I had to play against three people on one board, 3 versus 1. So that's how I used to play. And the stressful part is when I'm trying to pin or play a pin or maybe some fork, at least one of them used to call it out. Then I was like, I worked for it for 3 moves, and now I need to come up with a new one. So I used to play quite a bit of chess with my friends. So we found a outdoor giant chess board in Germany, and then we actually played and sat down. It was one of the wonderful moments where we thought, oh, it's a small world,
That's amazing. So I had no idea you were a big chess guy too. I feel like this has future Geo-Congress competition written all over it, that we need to have like beat Congress or something, and you take on all comers. Where's the most exciting place that you've played chess in your life? That one that you just named sounds pretty cool. But
yes. In fact, I think when I was there again in Germany, this Heidelberg Castle has this cool chess set with all the medieval theme, and I played with one of the people there, and of course, it was wonderful because I won. But yeah, I mean, playing with those antique sets was one of my favorites. Yes.
So, for those of us who are a little bit older, we may remember that in the early days of ESPN, they had this show called World's Strongest Man. And it seems like it was on all the time. And it would be people doing crazy, crazy stuff, rolling logs and throwing telephone poles and stuff like that. And one of the contests was moving human-sized chess pieces. And Surya, you've got to go check this out. I'm sure it's on YouTube somewhere, because while there wasn't a lot of actual chess playing strategy involved in this, it is just worth a watch. You're just going to have to trust me on that one. And maybe for all of our viewers, maybe someday you're going to have a chance to play, Surya, in chess. We're going to have to figure this out. We can't not do this. This is too good.
Maybe I'll put a word on having a chess competition as part of the student competitions.
That would be amazing. We have two questions that we ask everybody, as we mentioned at the start. And the second one is about how you got started with ASCE. So how did you first get involved with ASCE and then with GI?
So I started in 2017 when I was with Dr. Anand Pupala's research group. So it was my first geo-congress from Dallas. We drove all the way to Orlando for my first geo-congress, and we stopped and we had a very fun road trip. That's when I realized how supportive this community is. We are close-knit, and I met so many legends. Like, the best thing about attending these conferences, again, if there are any young geotechnical engineers or students watching this, the best thing about attending these conferences is you can bump into any of your idols.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's the best part. I have a photo with Dr. Jim Mitchell, and at one of the Canadian conference, I think, Brad, you were there for the Quigley Award. I actually met Dr. Fredland and got his book, Deserts, Dams, and Dirt/Soil. It's amazing, to get the book signed and given it to you by one of your idols. And credit goes to you and your team, Brad. You guys arrange these GI social events like the basketball game in LA and the NASCAR Hall of Fame in Charlotte. It makes it makes attending conferences not more like work, but an enjoyment as well. So yeah, I look forward to this Salt Lake City to see the special sauce that you always bring.
The pressure is on now. We got to make it really good. But I think the road trips, I love hearing about the road trips, especially that the students take. There are 3 different episodes of Director's Cut that you can go back to hear about a road trip that the UC Davis grad students took in 2016 to Geo-Congress, where they stopped in Vegas on the way home and saw the Hoover Dam and a Britney Spears concert. And you can go back and watch those. So Surya, what is your favorite moment that you remember from that road trip? Do you have a special one? It's been a long time now.
Yeah, I'm getting old, but let's see. We stopped in Pensacola, and that was the first time I ever saw a white sandwich. So it was amazing. And I don't think we stopped any for casino. We didn't stop for casinos. Since Dr. Pupala is watching this video, I can't say that. So, but we had some funny encounters that we came through. Maybe one of my friends will be angry if I disclose it, but we had some fun memories with a cop pulling us over. So,
I mean, you're driving a long way. That's bound to happen. It's
yeah. So it was my second road trip, because I did my first road trip in the US to Baton Rouge, Louisiana. And that's a personal trip. So yes, I did go to casino and we won, $150. So it was fun. Yeah.
You got to quit while you're ahead. That's the thing you have to learn though, right? Because
That's
they
true.
would like you to keep gambling. That's
Exactly. That's the secret. You can't stay at the table for long, and you need to know when to quit. So that's why whenever I go to casinos, I actually, again, I'm not a huge gambler. I probably go once a year just for the fun of it. I have a partner. I always have an accountability partner who can pull me out when I'm going deep into that, But it's a fun experience, and so far I'm doing plus $400.
I like
It,
that you've got a lifetime calculation. That's amazing. I'm just gonna say that I'm at zero probably. I don't know that I have any winnings to remark on. It's been such a long time since we had anybody affiliated with Michigan State on the show. I think probably the last person might have been Shadi El-Motar, and that was like 5 years ago, and he hasn't been at Michigan State for a long time. So Surya, I know you want to make this into a favorite Michigan things question, and we can do that. So you have to tell us your favorite things in Michigan, your favorite Michigan traditions that you've discovered, but you got to give the people at least one thing that you love about the campus in East Lansing.
Absolutely. I'll give three. The first one is, as you can tell, I'm a foodie. So if you're on MSU campus, you have to try the MSU Dairy Store. I mean, the grilled cheese is amazing. And you also get to try out different flavors of ice cream. So that's one. And the second one is walking through the Beale Botanical Gardens. It's so
Oh
peaceful to the
yeah.
soul. That's amazing. And recently, President Gaskovich actually started a new tradition where we light up the Beaumont Tower. So during nighttime, when you walk through those the trails near the botanical gardens as well as the Beaumont Tower, it actually is so peaceful. So those are my three favorite MSU traditions, and there are also others. Maybe you know celebrating when MSU beats U of M. That's one. And but I'll expand it to Michigan question. So my first and foremost favorite Michigan thing to do is visiting the Mackinac Island, and you can hike for a few hours and you won't even break a sweat. And the best part is at the end, you also get to try the fudge. And this
Mhm.
year, I can't say this year, right? Last year, I finally got my favorite flavor, carrot cake fudge.
Whoa.
It's the first time, and there is only one shop on the island who actually does that, and it's amazing. So that's my favorite Michigan tradition. And also, I did the Labor Day bridge walk, the Mackinac Bridge, as you can see at the back. So I mean, I had to explain the experience. So when I started walking and running, I I felt the bridge is moving. And initially I thought maybe I'm hungover, but then I realized I don't drink. So then I thought, okay, let me stop and see. And the bridge is moving at least 15 centimeters that you can actually feel. And if you have driven, Brad, I know you're from
Mhm.
Michigan too. So if you have driven on Mackinac Bridge, you can see on one side it's paved, and the other side it's more like a grating. You can see the water. So when you're running or walking, you can actually see water in every direction. And also, being a geotech, you can also see those foundations through those
Yeah.
gratings. So you can geek on all those, and it was wonderful experience doing the Labor Day walk, and I did it unexpectedly. I wasn't even expecting. One of my friends visited from out of state, and we wanted to do it, and then we went, and it was wonderful. And at the end, since I did both ways, back and forth, my calves were actually disagreeing, but the views are amazing. So that's something I loved. And I also did the Sleeping Bear Dunes. It was it was strenuous, but again, the views are amazing. And if you are ever in Michigan, you need to check off all this. Picture Rocks is my next on the list, so hopefully I can check off either this year or next year.
That's a that's a good list, both of things that you've done already and things that you want to do. We have to get a couple other things here. First, let's talk about fudge. For those of you around the country that are watching this and you're thinking to yourself, we have some pretty good fudge shops in insert name of town or beach or whatever. This is a different ball game. I think you can go to Mackinac Island, you can go to Mackinac City, you can go to Sheboygan, you could probably St. Ignace, maybe not as much, but like there are fudge shops everywhere. And I mean, what was your reaction the first time you saw these? Because a lot of them, they make it like out in the open, right? Where you can watch them do it. So what was your first experience like at a fudge shop?
Oh, when I first walked into the fudge with that smell, I wanted to eat all of it. I mean, because I love baking, especially after coming to the US, because back in India, even now, we don't own an oven at my home. So it's all about, we go out and get the cakes in the bakery and all. But here, it's a different ball game. Like, I used to be the one who used to hate pineapple on the pizza when I came to the US, But then later, I started trying the pineapple and carrot cake, and I expanded my, what should I say, my list of favorite food items. And I love, carrot cake so much because it also rhymes with one of my first names. My name is Surya Sarath, right? Sarath and carrot. So some of my friends used to call carrot as well. So that's one reason I kind of grew fond of carrot cake quite a bit. And regarding the fudge shop, there are also certain shops that allow you to do the fudge along with them. That's one experience you can't beat anywhere else in the country. So yeah, I mean, you might put some calories on, but it is totally worth it.
And then I have an issue with another thing that you said. You used the word when you were talking about Michigan State beating Michigan. I should have been an if. I feel like maybe even basketball this season. Who's ranked higher? The maize and blue got you guys. Well, maybe for one season, but we'll see because Spartans are in the Final Four.
I can tell who you're rooting for now. I can tell. I didn't ask you about this before. I'm actually canceling the invite to MSU now. No, just kidding.
Yeah, I won't burst into flames if I travel into East Lansing or anything, so you don't have to worry about that. You mentioned early on in the interview that you did spend some time in Germany. You're at TU Darmstadt, I think, and I'm thinking, what a cool experience that must have been from you, because you came from India to Germany, correct? You didn't come to the States first and then go there. What memories of that time do you have that you're always going to carry with you?
Yeah, since you brought up me going from India to Germany, maybe I should explain this fun story. I did not have a passport until a month before I traveled to Germany from India. So that was my first trip, like first flight ever, going from India to Germany. So I have two favorites in Germany, where one is my experience with Deutsche Bahn. I used to laugh, like during the initial time, I used to laugh when people complained about a 2-minute delay of trains. Like, because in India, again, hopefully no one takes offense, we measure train delays in hours. So when people are complaining about a minute or two delay, I was laughing at them. But then you also want to experience the atmosphere in Munich. The Oktoberfest in Munich, again, I don't drink, but again, I love the food, and I'm also a designated driver. So I can help my group, to get safely wherever they need. But Oktoberfest in Munich is amazing. And there is also a favorite personal memory. So I used to have a roommate in my German apartment. He wouldn't even look at the Indian curries that I would make because it's too spicy. Just by looking at it, it would make his face red. So it used to be, fun conversations with roommates from different countries and different parts of the world.
But I guess that's the follow-up question, because I was thinking when you said you loved the food when you went there, for a lot of people, they eat German food or Polish food or anything from kind of that Northern Europe area for the first time, and they find it really bland. Did you think it was really plain? I mean, I'm fascinated that you liked it.
I mean, the food that I made was Indian. So yes, the food was, should I say it? Again, you said it. It's not
Not going to hurt
but,
anybody's feelings.
I still like some of the food and some of the delicacies in Germany, but I still add my own ingredients. For example, let's say this weekend I was cooking butter chicken, like Indian, right? But then I also add the steak seasoning to marinate the chicken.
Oh.
So I try to do the fusion sometimes, and it came out really well, really well.
That's the best way to do it. You can't go wrong mixing it up. And when you're in a different place and you have different ingredients, I think it is incumbent upon you to figure out how to use them and include them in the recipes. So that's really good. I like that.
Mm-hmm.
As we record this, it is
maybe let me ask
oh.
you a question, Brad. What was the recent most new dish that you cooked and liked? I know you love poutine. I know that for a fact because we had the best poutine in Saskatchewan, right?
It's pretty good stuff. Most recent one that I cooked that I made. Oh, well, I've started making cowboy ribeyes a lot. They're these massive ribeye steaks that are like 42 ounces. Like you can feed 4 people off of one. That's probably the recent one that I've started to do, and you don't have to do much to it. Happy to talk to anybody at Geo-Congress about this, or TRB that wants to know some info.
That would be nice.
So it is January 7th as we record this, and as people watch this, it will be January 14th. It's the beginning of the year. A lot of people make New Year's resolutions. I will confess I've never really been one of those people. Maybe I'll set a goal for the year or something like that, but it's not too intense. Surya, have you ever made any New Year's resolutions?
Oh, that's a good question. Some years I do, but my consistent one is to spend more time reading for fun and less time reading technical journals. That's my all time. And this past year, I had one resolution. I wanted to do my first 5K, which I did last year. And this year, I'm still in a dilemma whether I should do a half marathon or a marathon. So yeah, that's something in the limbo. But I hope to improve my running form as well this year.
So does competing in the races make it more fun than just running otherwise? I think for a lot of people, they need that to have something to train for and to plan for and then to compete. I was always the opposite, where I've never run in a race in my life. I just liked getting out and being outside, and it was almost like cathartic for me is probably the word I would use. What about you? Has racing helped push you?
That's a very good question, Brad. To be honest, I haven't took up running until I moved to Michigan. So I enjoyed the hiking. So it started slow, like walking and all. Then later on, I started running because I found the trails are very nice and the views are amazing as well. So that's when I started running. But regarding the competition, it's still I'm a newbie. I'm glad I got some suggestions from some of the Geo members. Stacy is one of them. She gave me some suggestions, and she actually asked me to do 3 5Ks before I even get any suggestions from her. So I hopefully she'll be giving some suggestions during TRB. But still, I'm figuring out. But I enjoy pushing myself outside of my comfort zone. So that's something that I'm trying to do right now. But again, it's a long way. Maybe next year I'll be able to answer it well so that, I can train this year.
Either way, still a good answer now. And we'll get you back to your comfort zone here with the final question, because this one is right in your wheelhouse. earlier I said that I always thought of you as a drone guy, and you talked earlier about some of the work that you've done involving them. You're a licensed drone pilot, which some people may still be out there that don't realize that, yes, you do need a license to fly these things in most situations.
Yes.
But it's also probably not as hard as most people think to get that license and to start using it. So why should civil or geotechnical engineers consider getting their drone license?
Excellent question. Maybe I should start with how it improved me as a person. So, growing up, I used to have fear of heights. But then, after I joined Dr. Popala's group, I was given this $40,000 toy to go and play with, get the data and all. So, every time I see these bird's eye views from up above, my fear of heights is almost gone right now.
Wow.
So it actually can improve. I mean, I'm just saying, right now, I don't have much of fear of heights. Can you imagine me being on a bucket truck underneath the bridge? Yes, I did. In fact, I did when we were in Alaska. So I don't have fear of heights anymore, which is good. Now going to the professional side of it, it's a total game changer for site characterization. Like drones will allow us to perform rapid deployment, and we can monitor construction in real time and access hard to reach areas safely. So for a geotechnical engineer, the ability to create high resolution 3D maps is an invaluable tool for modern risk assessment. And also, this aligns well with the digital delivery that is being pushed by many devotees. So the data that we get can be easily integrated into their digital databases as well. So I would suggest everyone or most of you get your drone license, because it basically has several questions that are basic questions. If you put common sense, you'll pass it. So yeah, I'd be happy to chat with anyone at Geo-Congress. If anyone is interested in taking it, I'd be happy to train.
Is that the full process? I mean, you take the exam and that's about it?
Yes, and I still regret. There are, I don't recall how many questions, 60 questions or something. I got one question wrong. So that haunts me even still now, because when I took my exam and I came back, and I told Dr. Popal, I said, I got 59 out of 60 questions right. I can't even tell which one I got wrong, but that's how life is, right? So you have something to improve always.
59 out of 60 is pretty good, though. I think for most people, they'd just be
Hey, I'm from
happy that
Asia.
they were.
Hey, I'm from Asia, so I don't know if I can tell or not, but in India, when we grew up, it's a different setting.
That is fantastic. Well, thanks for walking us through that. And it really is that simple and valuable. And it, like you said, it opens up new worlds, I think, that, even 15 years ago, when drones started really appearing out in the wild for people to use, I think a lot of people thought of them. You used the word toy, but at first I think a lot of people did think of them as toys, that they weren't really necessarily something that could do serious work. But even the early ones that had the smaller payloads and stuff, it was amazing. You had hacker spaces around the US where people were developing applications for these things, and they've really broken into the mainstream. So very cool. And I agree with you. I would push almost all of our members to go get their drone pilot license. I think it's well worth it. Surya, You made it through all the questions. You made it through the follow-up questions. You did a great job. We had some Michigan talk and some fudge talk, and congratulations again on the Casagrande Award. We got to a lot of places today. For our viewers, if you liked what you saw, and I always say you're here at the end, so you probably did, click like, subscribe, and get notifications. And yes, we will definitely let you know every time we post something to the YouTube channel. Again, this was episode number 250. Check the show notes for the link to, it's probably going to be a scavenger hunt. I'm going to leak some news right now to the contest that will run for the 250th episode. You can win some valuable prizes. It might be a discount on attending Geo-Congress. that could be valuable to a lot of individuals. Surya, thank you so much for doing this. I hope it was fun.
Yeah, thank you so much, Brad. I appreciate you taking the time and selecting me for the 250th episode. I didn't know that. So yeah, it was fantastic chatting with you. And again,
every episode's important, though.
Yeah, absolutely.
We will see everybody in just 7 days with another brand new episode of Director's Cut.